Okay, so we have another solve critique, and let's take a look. This person averages around 16 seconds. I believe they're doing white cross. This is actually a pretty good angle, but it looks like you're starting with blue in front, which in my opinion, I would solve it with red in front, but let's see what you do. RDF, and then a rotation in the cross, and then inserting that cross piece. There's something you could do that's better, and doing it from one angle, because during your cross, one thing, don't rotate during your cross. Even though you may have high TPS, still not something you want to do. I'd hold red in the front and do an L first of all to move this piece in. It may seem not that good at the start, but it's opposites, so then I'll do an F prime, and then this is opposite over here, and then I'll do an R prime, and as you can see now we have two cross pieces that are D2 away from being solved, and then I have this cross piece here, and then this one all the way into the back, so I'll just do a D, and then put these last two in like that, and then do a D at the end. Finishing up your cross, you're looking around in the back. Don't do this. This is not something you want to get into the habit of doing. I would just look to the left and right, so you want to optimize it so you're looking just slightly to the left and right. If I look slightly to the left, I can see I have this edge here, and then I have this corner here, which I'll solve like this. Anyway, your cross is unsolved here, and make sure you do the D2 right away. I think this is your first pair. You're going to solve it into the front left. Okay, not bad finger tricks. And then this looking into the back. What if your back slots are filled already? Then it's something you don't want to get into the habit of doing. So I can do this pair here, and then immediately just at this angle I can already see this corner here and this edge, which I'll go straight into, and then rotate back, and then insert that into the back. Okay, so you took out that pair right there, the orange and green, so it would look something like this. This pair right here, we're going to use the green and red pair. So if you have it from this angle, instead of taking it out, like doing something like that, you can do a R prime, U, R2, U prime, R prime. It's basically just taking it out sort of, and then canceling into the R2, and then inserting that back in. The edge is right there. Okay, all right, I like this insert. Okay, it's just that one thing with sledgehammer finger tricks were a little bit off, but I personally don't do that insert. That's something I need to implement my solves, because I would do a rotation in that scenario. So doing a sledgehammer, have your thumb at the front, at the top like this, or have your pointer finger. I'll do the pointer finger tricks first, so you can do an F, R prime, F prime, R, like that. So you're pinching with your right, R prime, and then pinching with your left right here, like that. So it looks like this. Or you could use your thumb, you can go like that. You still have to pinch with your left like this. The finger tricks for that is a lot better, instead of doing something that's like that and rotating towards the bottom. Anyway, you insert the pair pretty solid right there. And OLL, I use this AUG sometimes, not too bad of an AUG. And then a G perm looking into the back. I said this in my last solve critique, but you want to look at two-sided PLL recognition. That's something that is definitely worth looking into. Felix Zemdegs has a resource on cube skills, and you can do that online. So here's a G perm. I think this is probably the same one that I do. Yep, the same one. A not bad finger tricks here, I have to say. That's literally the exact same ones I do. Nothing much to say about PLL except recognizing it a bit faster. Here's solve number 2, white cross once again. Pretty sure you planned it all in inspection pretty nicely. So a solution I would do instead, because I think you had a lot of moves and you ended with an L move, I would start with a B. I would start with a B and an F prime at the same time, because here are the two cross pieces here, and then you have one here and then one here. So I do a B and an F prime like that, because then I'm going to move this opposite cross in here, and then I have opposites right here, and then I will put this opposite cross piece in right there. And then lastly, I'll do, instead of a D prime with the L moves, because I feel like L moves aren't as always efficient. Not efficient, but like it's hard to execute, especially if you're a righty. So then I do a U prime here to move this over, and then F2 like that. First pair is the green and orange. It's really good. You canceled into that next pair. That's a really good habit to get into, actually. A good strength of yours, I can definitely see. And here it's sort of confusing, but you go straight into this pair. Pretty nice. Instead, I would recommend rotating to the right, because right-handed algorithms are a little bit better, because 90% of people on earth are right-handed like that. So you have to rotate again. So instead of just rotate the other way. That's what I would do. I think this is a beginner's method insert, but at least it preserves your whole entire cross. Nothing much to say about that. And here you have OLL. that's the same one I would do. I don't really know any COLL, so I should not critique that at all. That bad looking into the back, but here you have a J A perm, and here you go. Your execution for it was pretty good, pretty solid. So this cross actually looks really good. So you're holding orange in the front. So D, F, okay. All right, so one thing, make sure not to rotate to the bottom. As you see, don't rotate up and down like that. You wanna have it in one solid position and do your cross really smoothly. These cross pieces here, and then these two right here, I would do a B and an F at the same time again. So BF, put that cross piece in, and then insert this in here, then do an F prime to solve this, and then D prime. And then what you can do is cancel into this pair here by doing L to U, L prime like that, but it's not necessary, and I don't think you need that necessarily at your speed, because then you leave it with inserting a cross piece into the back, and you're sort of confused now of what pair to do, but you do that nice pair right here. Okay, so one thing is you want to look for the best solution for your pairs. This last solve especially, you might have not seen that for a pair, but maybe you're looking for a different pair in inspection. Here, solving this pair here won't mess up this blue and orange pair, so I would say why not just go for it, that split pair, but you go for this instead, using F moves. Honestly, in that case, I would have rotated because it set you up. You don't have to rotate later, so you have this next pair here. Once again, your look ahead isn't that great, and even though you may have really fast TPS, it's sort of, you have rigid turning, and it's difficult sometimes to understand what you're doing, but you have a lot of pauses, I'd say, in your solve, so that's something you want to work on. But over here for this next pair, it looks like you're inserting it with F, wide F moves, and L. Doing it with L moves, I can tell it was a little bit awkward. Even for me, it's really awkward to do, so I would not do that. But now you have this red and blue. Finally, you're doing that as your third pair. Kind of weird. You're putting your whole hand like that when you're doing that U. Just stick to the regular finger tricks. If you're going to do it, just do it with your whole finger instead of your whole hand, or just do a push U with your left instead, because it saves you some energy and saves you a regrip as well. So you do it right here, wide R, U prime, R prime, F, like that. And now you have that last pair. So that was actually really good last alg. It's just that your look ahead was kind of bad on F2L right here. So that's what I think slowed it down quite a bit. I did not know that OLL there. And then here's your E prime alg. Here's your E prime alg. Now you're doing it right here with no AUF. Okay. Lefty. Maybe you are actually left-handed, I'm not exactly sure, but that was actually a really solid E-prim there. So overall, one thing I'd recommend is to just work on your F2L, and like a lot of people say, is to work on your efficiency and slow solving, because doing those unnecessary rotations, because you have a ton of pauses in your solves and you want to eliminate that as much as possible. So let me just go over a quick walkthrough solve. Something that I'm going to do is look for the pieces while I'm solving the F2L pair I'm looking at. So I'll do cross here on white real quick, and then immediately I see this pair in the front. As I'm looking for it, I notice this corner is in the back, because I'll solve it next the orange and green. So I'll do that, and then I'm looking for the edge. It's right here, split pair. I'll rotate, and then I see this pair in the front. I'll do that, rotate, and then right here I'll rotate again, and then do this pair. So I think your execution for OLL and PLL was really nice. It's just that your F2L and your cross are slowing you down a bit. Make sure you're doing your cross solutions in 8 moves or less and not solving pieces one by one. You should rarely ever do that insert where it's like this. You have a cross piece here and you need to insert it in like that with the 3 mover. You should try to influence pieces to solve it into the correct slot. By doing that, you can look up walkthrough solves from faster keywords. I think I have a couple walkthrough solves on my channel. Oh, and one last thing, when you're doing your F2L, don't look in the back like this. That's a bad habit to get into, and that's something you don't want to carry on. So look just slightly to your left and right and seeing what pieces are around you. Otherwise, that's been it. Thank you so much for submitting your solves. Hope you did enjoy this video. As always, comment, like, subscribe. Catch you guys in my next video. Peace.